This week we're going to talk about a book called Midas Touch. The 5 points I have incorporated and used in my everyday life. You're asking what the 5 points? 1. Character. 2. Focus. 3. Brand. 4. Relationships. And 5. The little things. In the Midas Touch, there's 5 points, or I've learnt to call them principles. The 5 principles, if you recall, is 1. Character, 2. Focus, 3. Brand, 4. Relationships, and 5. The little things. We'll talk about each one each day, but today we're going to talk about character. Through the book, the authors have told stories how their character has come through during hard times, problem times, or when people have questioned their character. And for me, when I've reached my own problems in my own life, the 5 principles of the Midas Touch is always a reminder that when I fail and I fall down, when I lack confidence in certain situations, when I make mistakes, and character is holding your hands up and admitting to those mistakes. It's saying, yeah, I did that wrong, but I will not do it. I'll try not to do it wrong next time. I will learn from what I failed at, what I've fallen for. And it's a case of being able to accept that as a person and being able to move forward, knowing that mistakes will happen, fails will happen. But that's a chance for us to learn. That's a chance for us to educate ourselves. It's a chance for us to be able to show that actually I do make mistakes, I do fail, but that doesn't stop me from actually progressing. And through honesty, through trust, you can build that with others because you're willing to admit when you're wrong. And that's a form of character. We all have beliefs on who we are as people, and our character responds to how we believe we are. And if we can't admit to basics of failing, then we will struggle in every aspect of his life. This is why, for me, the 5 principles of the book are so important. It's why I always revert back to the 5 principles. Remind myself, well, that's my character. I reacted that way because that's my character. You know, I have this intent focus. You know, my brand on how I conduct myself is so important. The relationships I build, the relationships I have, I will continue to make them strong. And all the little things I do, the little thank yous, the little going above and beyond are so important. And character is the first one to you know, put into place. So I want you to look at your character. I want you to read and educate yourself and learn about different characters, different situations, and how you can respond to them. I want you to learn to back yourself, pick yourself up, carry on moving forward. I know I struggle at times myself, and I have to push myself to admit and to accept, to learn, to educate, and to move forward. But through that is where I grow. Through that is where you can grow. So I hope with the Midas Touch, it might be something you'll be willing to wanting to read. I know it resonated with me massively. I hope it does for you too. But one thing I want you to remember is don't stop. Don't let anybody stop you. Just admit, learn how you can overcome that and put that into practice every day. And through that, you can become a stronger character. But just be honest and accept and educate, overcome and move forward. Focus. Focus is the second principle in Midas Touch, which means follow one's course until successful. It's having a vision, it's having a goal, it's being able to focus on the steps you need to make in order to achieve that goal. It's understanding the sacrifice we have to make in order to achieve that goal. It's planning. Failure to plan, plan to fail. No matter how small or big our goal is. For me, that's what focus from the book and my interpretation, my perspective on what the chapter on focus meant. As I said, it tells little stories about how the authors had to focus and where they have lacked focus, how they have managed not to achieve. But I took that a step further for me and looked at what focus and what my focus was in my own life. This is why it's a principle. And I've acknowledged that that I don't focus, or I haven't focused well in the past. Sometimes I've been overly focused and I've managed to achieve what I set out, but I never acknowledged the wings of my focus, and by not it's allowed me to forget how I've achieved the goals. So focus is making those little steps, no matter how small. It's making them daily, being repetitive in making those steps. It's writing down what the goal is, the vision you've got, so you can focus every day of what that is. But we can get paralysis by analysis by focusing on the bigger picture, rather than look at the little steps we have to take and focusing on those little steps in order for us to achieve what we've set out to do. So focus on the bigger goal, focus on the little steps, and have an eye of motivation towards achieving that bigger goal. Take your wins every day when you do when you do make a step. A major win is when we have our ditch voice. Well, for me, I have a boss voice and a ditch voice. My ditch voice tells me to not focus, to not start, to start at another day. Procrastination, my ditch voice, gives me every excuse I would need in order for me not to do. And part of that is telling me that I won't be able to focus to do it. But for me, overcoming my thoughts, my ditch voice, into my boss voice, and just making a start and actually doing, my focus actually becomes apparent. I actually do focus in on making that step. And when I stop at the end, I take in that great feeling, that great dopamine hit of a win. And I acknowledge that. So what I'm trying to say for me from the book of focus is to be intent by taking those actionable little steps. Is to go and just do. Maybe learn, gain a bit of knowledge if you need to. Overcome, but focus on what you want to achieve and how you're going to achieve it. I believe that if we focus on the little steps, the big steps will take care. We will reach the big goal at the end. And remember, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And by making those little investments, we actually learn, we actually grow, and we can achieve. So that's my perspective on focus. It's continuing to create a belief that you can do, and focus is a major part of that. Do like, share, comment, follow. Tomorrow we're talking about brand and what brand means. This is a facer pointer. Today we're talking about brand. And in the book Midas Touch, brand is your reputation. Reputation for the book is on the company, but also you yourself as an individual. My principle on brand, which is so important, my perspective of what I've taken away from the book, is what brand do I want to be? How do I handle situations? Am I fake? Am I dishonest? Do I fool around? How do I deal with confrontation? Am I staying true to the person who I am? That's your brand. How I reflect on engagements with people and how I handle myself. And we all fail. But can you really ask yourself, did you stay true to your brand? Did you react rather than be proactive? So by reacting, you're just reacting to that environment in that moment and responding to how that other person is reacting to you. Or you're proactive and you realise that it's just that environment, that encounter, and I want to handle myself in the way my brand or me as a person is. So for me, looking at the brand I want to ensure that I give the right impressions in every environment. I'm polite, I'm respectful, I'm honest, I'm trustworthy, I give, I help, I'm understanding, I show a lot of empathy, and I want to walk away from every part of what I do knowing I've given the right brand of me. Jeff Bezos says that a company brand is like a person. It's how you build the reputation of yourself. And it's something to which we all need to question about how our brand is and whether we're happy with how our brand is shown to others, and to learn from when we're not being true to our brand so we can make it better next time and the next time after that, and exercise sticking to ourselves, being true to ourselves and our brand. So be reflective, look at your brand, give yourself the right platform in order to show your brand right, and keep exercising that self of brand in every environment, and we will get better, you will get better, I will get better in showing what our brand stands for. So that's my perspective on taking away from the Midas Touch brand. Tomorrow we're talking about relationships and what relationships mean. Do like, share, follow, comment. Until next time. Today in Midas Touch we're talking about relationships. In the book itself, the relationships are our colleagues, our suppliers, lawyers, accountants, the people we interact with in our daily business life or professional life. Now, looking at how we communicate and listen and show our character and our brand, and increasing our focus within dealing with our customers, our colleagues, our suppliers and other professions, represents us. So we need to take that into our business, into our profession, so we can be able to showcase ourselves the way we want to be showcased. But for me, relationships goes far beyond just professional, as the book shows. For me, my relationships, my principle of relationships is how I listen, is how I understand. Am I waiting for the person I'm speaking to, my loved one, my family, my friends, to finish so I can listen clearly? Do I understand? Am I being honest? And I'm being showing integrity in following through what I'm saying I'm gonna do? Am I being trustworthy? Am I being appreciation of what they do, how they support, what they do in the home, what they do in their own lives, what I can show to them, regardless if I don't get it back? It's what I, as a brand, as a character, as part of being focused, is what I give to them. And it ain't about coming back, but more importantly, it is clearly about communication. And we can be leaders in how we communicate. We can be leaders how we listen. We can inspire how we appreciate and show thankfulness and gratitude. And to me, all that together makes a relationship. All that together makes a sound, solid relationship. And yeah, we fail. Yeah, we fall. And yet sometimes we don't do and stick to our character, our brand, as we would expect us ourselves to want to. But that's okay, because we have to fail in order to understand that we have to try harder and be better and communicate better. So do that. Look at yourself. Show the love. Show the appreciation. Show the gratitude. Listen really well, but listen to what they're saying and answer appropriately. You can do this. We all can do this. We all can build better relationships. And in this time of a fractured society where relationships are getting torn and stretched, relationships is so important. Following on from his character and his brand is so important. So build on them. If that means scrapping and starting again, start again, but start today. Start taking an interest and start showing the love, the care, the appreciation, the gratitude. What makes us who we are. You've got this. You can do this. Tomorrow, we're talking about the little things and what little things entails. Do like, share, comment, post. Until tomorrow, see you later. We end this week with little things from the book Midas Touch. Little things, for me, it's the little gestures we do for one another. It's helping out in the smallest of ways. It's doing something we would not normally do to help others. It's showing appreciation. It's giving our time to do the most mundane of things, but it's very helpful. And we get lost in not acknowledging the little things people do for us. And this is just a reminder that we all got a choice whether we do or we don't. But when somebody does something very small in a helpful way, it's just to acknowledge that. We can all get lost in trying to do big gestures, trying to do big things for each other. But it's the little things what matter the most. And this is just to show that we've got to acknowledge those. It feeds into our relationships, helps strengthen our relationships. It feeds into our brand. It helps develop us as a person. And it feeds into our character. It brings confidence to our character, which can only be combined together, make us more of a happier person. So thank you for listening this week, watching the videos, commenting where you have, likes, shares. For me, this has been an experience I'd never thought I would do, and getting uncomfortable, trying to speak into a camera, trying to be clear with my communication, to try and put my points across of my perspective of how the books I've read helped me, maybe could help you. And only through doing will I get better, communicate better, be clearer, maybe not go on as much, be more concise. Next week, the next book I picked up was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I think I've said his name right, possibly wrong. But that's what we'll be discussing next week. So until then,